My name is Jared Chavez, and I will refute to the claim that addiction to video games is harmful for everyone. First of all, the advocates' 3-point secondary claims go like this. Number one is playing video games changes behavior in a negative way. The second one would be video games make you lazy. And the third one is students do not do their homework and get poor grades because of video games. First, in the first claim that playing video games changes behavior in a negative way, the advocate does not specify or talk about which video games, which would be considered a hasty generalization, because he just generalizes for all video games and does not specify it into one. Studies show that indeed playing violent video games can yield to encouraging violent behavior, and video games can also encourage positive behavior. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it could also be a positive thing. A study conducted by the Iowa State University found that pro-social video games involving helping, cooperating, sharing, empathy, and emotional awareness in those video games can actually cause positive attitudes. The study consists of, they gathered about 6 college students to play 3 types of video games. One would be the violent video games. 2 neutral would be puzzles and other they would just be non-emotion towards not positive or negative emotions. And 2, which would be the positive emotions that would be helping, cooperating, and sharing, which would be the pro-social video games. After these after they had played for a while, they gathered them into their teams, which would be the 2 students for the violent, 2 for the neutral, and 2 for the positive video games. They told them to build a puzzle within a certain amount of time, and whoever finished got a gift card. So what the study got was the violent students obviously did not help each other much. The students that did just neutral, they just didn't do a lot of changes, they just stayed the same. But the people who played the positive video games actually helped each other more, and actually finished before the other 2 teams. The second claim is that the video games make you lazy. Here, the speaker suggests that the video games make you lazy, but basically there's no correlation in between that. So that could be like a fallacy of bifurcation, which is that you don't have a choice, they just make you lazy. And this is not necessarily true. First, we can determine, I got the definition of the term lazy from the Oxford Dictionary, which means that it's a lack of activity or use of energy or work. In no section of the definition did it ever mention that playing video games was the cause for laziness. Also, not all video games are sedentary video games. Some video games, such as the Wii by Nintendo, Xbox Kinect, and Dance Dance Revolution games, are actually can promote moving around more and not encouraging laziness. In a study conducted by Roberta Lambert, a physical education teacher in Franklin Elementary in Pendleton County, she believed that she gathered a few students and started using the video games as a form of physical education, and she found that by using video games in her classes, it improved cardiovascular health and as well as eye coordination. And one of the games that she used was the Dance Dance Revolution, which is a dancing, jumping game. And the third claim would be students do not do their homework, so it yields to bad grades. If by playing, there's not enough evidence, first of all, to say that by playing video games, you're not going to do your homework. But there was a study said that, first of all, the Oxford Dictionary also says the term video game is a game played by electronically manipulated images produced by a computer program, television screen, or other display screen. So not necessarily it can be a game console. So it could just also be your computer, or you could be playing games on the computer and other your TV or other game, iPod, etc. But also there are a few games that are actually made for studying, which they teach, like they are used by elementary students to teach them how to read and phonics and stuff like that. A study about video games in school proves that the more time you waste on video games, TV, or other sedentary activities, the worse students do in school. But Dr. Sharif's study says that as long as the kids spend no more than 4 hours per day on the TV or game console or anything, it has no significant effect on the student's academic performance. So in conclusion, video games are not necessarily bad for everybody.
Is that chair attached? Maybe you could just pull that over to the side and sit there. I'll be out of the way, and then there'll be two desks here. It looks like there's a lot. Oh, there's
this one?
Either of them.
That one was it.
Okay. All right, Jared, it's nicely organized. The sign posting is clear, so you're not having any problems there. And on each of the points, you have some counterclaims that you're presenting, and you explain them pretty well. I do think you sometimes get caught up in explaining the nature of the study, and although it's good to tell us a little bit about the study, you really want to tell us the inference that we're going to be getting, and you need to get to those inferences a little bit earlier. I think your argument would benefit from a little bit more analysis of the advocate's evidence and reasoning as well. Yet at one point, you were arguing that there was a bifurcation because they're saying you're basically either lazy or you're not, and playing video games makes you lazy. I'm not sure that it's a bifurcation, but there's definitely an argument here about whether or not it contributes to laziness, and I think you've got some good counter examples on that point with the active video games. All right, thank you.